5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Getting on, folks, and welcome back to another series of the Irish Race an Hour. I'm your host, Shane Rooney. I'm joined by Ryan Sharkey this time, and as well as that, we've another podcast guest on. Well, this man is more, how would you say, built up than we are now at this stage. One of YouTube's leading racing podcasts, The Finishing Line. Andrew Halligan, welcome on board. It's great to have you.
I don't go that far now. We're all right. We're doing okay for ourselves. Thanks for having us, Shane. How are you?
Sure, look, sure, not too bad. Sure, we'll knock a bit of crack out of this anyway, and sure, we'll see how it goes. Lads, first of all, I suppose this is going to go out a little bit later on in the week or next week, whatever. This is being recorded on Tuesday the 20th. Obviously,
you don't need to tell him that, Shane. You never need to tell him
that. But last night there was how would you say, a bit of a tricky documentary after being aired. The truth behind horse racing, or whatever it's called. Now, I didn't personally see it, but lads, what did you make of it?
I didn't see it either. I was in cinema watching Space Jam.
Great movie.
I went for fucking Bugs Bunny rather than Slaughterhouses.
Did you not see the articles or anything like that?
I'd seen a bit on Twitter, yeah.
I watched it now this morning. It was very aimed at horse racing is to blame for everything.
Yeah.
Where if you look into it and you watch it properly, it's what happens when they leave. It's when the trainer puts their trust in the vendor that they say rehome them.
Yeah.
And then they end up in these slaughterhouses where, for argument's sake, it's like your man out of Space Jam with the gun.
Yeah.
Aiming at him because he's just all over the place. And it's some of it is just absolutely ridiculous, unhumane as you can get.
Yeah.
Absolutely scandalous. Whoever's behind it all, it's a licensed place that they all get humanely disposed of, for the lack of a better word.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous what's going on, and especially when there's a vet there that's meant to oversee it all, and here's a fella standing in the corner having the crack trying to kill a horse. It's just not on. There's everything in it is just wrong, but the way it was made to look like it's all horse racing industry's fault. It's far beyond that. It's far beyond what goes on in racing. It's just like that because they're ex-race horses.
Yeah.
Second lady of the yard, it's still the trainer's fault, the owner's fault, like what happened to Vita the Rock.
Yeah.
From what I heard and what I seen, Simon Monier had no idea this happened. He was told in good faith that Vita the Rock was going to be rehomed, so on and so forth. And it was the first he heard when he seen the documentary last night.
Yeah.
A hell of a lot needs to be looked into, and a hell of a lot needs to be done. Plain and simple.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose my opinion of it, like I said, I didn't actually see the documentary itself, but I did read all the articles about it. It definitely seems very one-dimensional and very, straight to the point, instead of, say, how would you say, give equal views sort of thing. Like, say, if they showed, say, proper care, say, for ex-race horses or whatever like that, it would carry a bit more pull, let's just say. But say these figures, in my opinion, don't add up. The 4,000 going to these slaughterhouses, it makes no real sense. How an industry like in Ireland that's been growing that's been constantly growing and consistently growing over the past 20 years, for say half the horses in training, let's just say 9,000 I think it's 9,248 registered horses under licensed trainers in Ireland. Now, that's close enough to 50% of the numbers that these people are claiming, going to these slaughterhouses or whatever like that. 14 odd thousand are registered over in the UK. That's 35%. If that was the case, racing wouldn't be growing. It would be constantly losing more and more horses in training. You wouldn't be, I suppose, seeing all these, what's the word I'm looking for now? You wouldn't be getting, say, the horses that should be like in smaller yards or whatever like that. They'd all be wiped out. The bigger trainers would be losing most of their, say, superstars or whatever like that. And just the fact that racing was growing even there last year, the numbers of horses actually grew from 2019 to 2020, like especially in a year that 2020 was a pure financial crash. Like, it's ridiculous. It looks totally staged, in my personal opinion. Now, I know not all racing is all roses and lilies. Like, I know there is some questionable characters in racing that you would sort of look twice at, but I know the majority of trainers, owners, rehomers, whatever you like to call them, they're all very, very genuine or whatever like that.
Oh, in my view, it was a very easy thing to make, especially when what happened to Gordon last year. It was very Gordon Elliott based around.
Yeah.
And they made it clear to mention Gordon as many times as they could.
Yeah.
Look, Gordon, he's done what he's done. He's paying the price or whatever. He's been dragged back in under this again because 3 of the horses were in his care, and whatever happened. It was just, for the lack of a better word, it was a whole shit show. Let's throw racing under the bus again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was an easy program to make. Look, there's no getting away. It happens.
Yeah.
But it paints a horrible picture that's far from the truth. Like, you've been to yards, I've been to yards.
Yeah.
They're treated like kings.
Yeah, definitely.
And anytime you can see on Twitter today, the people that looked after the horses, like the room that looked after the Rock, was distressed from what I've seen. Simon Munir was the same. Anyone else that was associated with the horses. Look, yes, there's always 2 or 3 bad eggs in it that just go, yeah, do what you have to do, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But that's not the pitch. That's not horse race. That's not what happens. 90%, there's always going to be a bad egg thrown in there, but 99% of the time they're looked after like kings. Of course, every day walk of life, there's dicks that will do that. Yeah,
definitely.
And it just made racing out to look like a shit show, where it's not.
But like the funny thing for me anyway was I lost all credibility for the arguments made because of one tweet there last week done by Animal Aid. I don't know if you've seen it, Andrew, or you've seen it, Ryan, but Mary Poppins, after Rachel's fall, was reported dead on the scene by this Animal Aid. And no remorse shown to Rachel Blackmore, no care, say, about her injuries or whatever like that. They says that they don't show any remorse for people who participate in animal cruelty. And the next thing was, the next day, someone from, I think it was Henry's Yard, videoed Mary Poppins walking up and down the stable yard, showing her well-being and all that. So, look, make of it what you will. That's all we're going to be covering on that. But
don't get me started on them shit shows of them animal welfare bullshit. They're doing worse things now, and it's been proven they're doing worse things.
Yeah, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. But
that's
anyway,
for tomorrow's show.
Yeah,
Dave will go off and around on that.
But anyway, Andrew, we'll go back to you. Just, I suppose, for those who somehow wouldn't know the Finishing Line podcast now at this stage, just give a brief introduction about yourself and what you do.
Well, the plain and simple version is we are 3 lads who just speak what we feel and say what we think. And if you like us, you like us. If you don't, we don't care. We just say how it is. We say what we want, and people seem to like us.
Yeah, I think that's what definitely, I suppose, adds to your popularity and all that. Like, you go out on a whim and you just do it off the wing, and sure, look at you, just see what happens, really.
Look, the three of us are polar opposites in personality wise. Yeah, you have Tom, who is the whole value angle and all this, all that. Dave is the breathing side, where I just go with what I think and how I feel.
Yeah.
And we bounce off each other ridiculously well, and for some reason or another, it's working.
Yeah. But I suppose the one thing that ties you all together is the knowledge and the love for horse racing. Like, just I suppose, say your life in general, like before the podcast, I suppose, where did the love for horse racing start, or were you previously involved in racing?
God honest truth, I couldn't tell you the head from an arse of a horse until I was about 21.
Okay.
My life revolved around soccer, around football for the bones of 21 years. I was handy at it. I was playing at a very decent level, and the body started giving up around 2021. The injuries kept catching up. And plain and simple, and this is the God honest truth, I went out to Tramore Racecourse the day after my 21st, probably still drunk, and I was hooked ever since. 6 weeks later, 3 weeks later, I started learning how to ride horses, and then 3 weeks after that, I started Henry the Bromheads.
Jesus.
So
yeah.
it was a snowball effect very, very, very quickly.
Yeah, definitely. That's you definitely fell on your feet going into Henry the Bromhead anyway.
I went in there in 2010, I think. It was the year where Sois in Australia won the cross country, in Europe won the champion chase.
Yeah.
Not a bad time to start now.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. You definitely had a few superstars in the yard anyway at that stage. But look, at sure, it's great to see him doing so well there this year, and hopefully, say in the next year now, when the jump season starts up again, sure he'll be ready to rock again. But Ryan, you just have a couple of questions there regarding the podcast there, just before we go on to different subjects.
Firstly, where did the name The Finishing Line come from? Was it an out of the spur moment, or?
It was literally sitting down on my couch one day. I was just writing down names, and I walked out, and I remember it's true as day. I walked into the kitchen to make a cup of tea, and I just went, The Finishing Line. It sounds right. I'll go with it. And I just put it into our old logo, and I said, that looks right. It's horse racing. It sounds like horse racing related, and I went with it.
Yeah.
There's no heroics around it or mad ideas. It just came to me one day when you're walking around.
And did it just start with you, or were the two lads involved from the get-go?
It was me at the start. It was actually the podcast wasn't my idea whatsoever. It was my actual now fiance's idea. She was sick of the tease of listening to me talk about horses. She bought me a microphone for my phone and a tripod for it. There's a camera. Stop talking to me. Start talking to people that might actually listen to you. So I can't take credit for the finishing line. It was all Kate's idea.
How well did the two boys come into it?
Well, when I started that, I was actually working with Dave in a gym where we live. And we were starting to get to know each other, and we started getting on really well. And then we started realizing two of us really like horse racing. And he was just chatting about the podcast and so on. How's it getting on? What any ideas? I said, not really. I said, Cheltenham was only around the corner. I said, you fancy doing a Cheltenham Festival preview just for the crack to see how it gets on? And my brother-in-law wrote him in as well for us. I looked back on it a few weeks ago, and good Jesus Christ, it's awful. But look, that's how myself and Dave started. And then I moved jobs. Then I started working for a company called Timber Media. We run betting websites and casinos online. And Tom was working in there. And Tom was actually worked in Henry the Bromhead, so that's how we started talking. And the podcast kind of became. We made an agreement with the owner then that the podcast and the website I was working for were merging together. So myself and Tom said, the hell with it, we go together and see how it goes on. And then we started roping Dave back in. And then from there, I just started a snowball with the three of us bouncing off each other.
Yeah. And obviously, you have getting plenty of subscribers on YouTube. What is like the next motive? What's the plan? Just go up from here?
The next big target, and we're kind of working on it already, is Cheltenham Festival preview in a hotel and sell it out. We've the kind of wheels in motion already. I've been talking to one or two people. Gavin Lynch is in already, wherever it's on. And we've James Griffin, who we met up in Dundalk actually last week. I was talking to yourself, Ryan, up there. And was talking away to him. And very quickly, it became apparent that he talks like us. So, yeah, you can come.
So,
And I'll try, we'll probably get Henry and see can we rope Rachel in as well.
might as well get the whole lot of them in.
Then talk shite for 4 hours and get drunk.
That's the best way to go about anything in life. Obviously, Hollywood bets have been huge to you and obviously myself as well. What is your future with them? You know, it must be fantastic. Them, like, for you, anyway, the fact that they sponsor so many great things, like even Brentford Football Club, for crack's sake, like, and obviously our own podcast as well. Not that well, and everything is brilliant, but
well, from the get-go, I've got on really well with the lads over there. Like we've worked really closely together for the podcast and improving Hollywood Bets site in general with the offers, the bonuses, free bets, and so on and so forth. Punters Challenge, which is going to, I don't know if you heard, is going to explode now in the next few weeks. There's a huge thing. We've actually meeting tomorrow about it all, and hopefully announcing it next week latest, I'd say. There's just a load of other courses being added and so on and so forth. Look, Jesus Christ, they're as close to Irish as you get. They're so laid back. They'll go above and beyond to help you. You ask for it, and literally Karen, who I deal with mostly, and Haley, the head person who also deal with stays, you'd have it within the hour if you could. There's the thing with them, they're very receptive to our views of where they think the company should be, and they're very open to our ideas where we think the podcast is going and what they need to bring for us to get there. I genuinely can't imagine anyone other company being like that. Like, they're absolutely massive in South Africa. They're like 5,000 employees. They've like over 80 shops, I think. They're huge, and it's only a matter of time before they reach it over here.
Yeah.
In other words, they're great.
They're fantastic. Yeah, Shane, back over to you.
Well, I just want to touch Andrew, or I want to I don't want to touch Andrew. I want to...
Join the queue, Shane.
Fuck's sake, Shane. Keep the
this is why I have Dave around as well.
Thank fuck this is not live.
Dave keeps the people away.
No, I just want to ask you, Andrew, about I know, look, at you're involved with Shauna. I'm not even going to try and pronounce her name because I've tried doing it a couple of times.
I've mastered it. It's Shaun Austick.
Shaun Austick.
Yeah.
That's grand.
Show what it means. Show what it means.
No.
Beautiful view.
Oh, lovely. But yeah, I tried when I was doing my tips on the Peaky Blogger and all that. I've tried so many times to pronounce her name, and it just goes to fucking shit.
Just go Shauna. It works every time.
Yeah, Shauna. But I suppose, look, we were there talking, or you were talking there on the episode there last week. You're going to Galway with her. Are you going to be going for gold in Galway?
We're going Galway. We're going Wednesday for 0 to 140 handicap, I think. Mayor's handicap on the Wednesday.
Yeah.
Handicap hurdle, obviously. Yeah, it's going to bolt up by 6 minutes easy. Look, she's going there with a chance. She's on the back of a run where, of our view and of Henry's view, everything that could went wrong in the race. She got tapped for toe the whole way around. The course didn't suit her. The ground didn't suit her. The trip didn't suit her. Mikey done one or two things wrong, but look, he's a very young jockey. I'm not going to say that about Mikey. Won him the time before. He knows the horse better than we do. But it's the way. It's not even Mikey's fault. It's the way the race unfolded with the favourite knocking a few hurdles and where he got positioned in one stage. Look, it's split-second decisions, but I think Galway, out in front now, and step up and trip. The ground is still a bit of a worry if I'm being totally honest, because I'm sitting out in my back garden now and it's still 24 degrees.
Yeah.
And the ground up there, look,
It's
they can water.
It's 30 degrees in Galway.
They can water the ground all they want. The second it hits the turf, it's gone.
Yeah.
Look, we're hoping it's dying down on Saturday or Sunday. So by the time Wednesday comes around, it might be easy side of good. That's been goddamn ambitious. But look, she's as tough as boots. She'll give her running. She's as lazy as they come as well. Good God, she has to get scrubbed along so many times. But I think just bolt her out in front and catch me if you can. And look, hope she finishes the top 4.
Yeah. Well,
stepping up big. Look, she's done everything we've asked her so far. She's done it. For the lowly rating she was coming over from Germany, and the amount of times she raced, I think she raced 42 times before she came to Henry's and hadn't had a break in her whole life.
Yeah,
she ran in, probably unbelievable maidens over the winter, behind, list of winner, bumper list of winners, an Irish Lincoln winner. She was 3rd and 5th in it. She got a break then after Thurles, where she was just needed a break. She came back 1-2 on the bounce and then on a stormer on ground and everything else that went wrong behind Ferdia. And some more.
Yeah, but
we're going there, hope.
Yeah, but
it's
like
it's a 20-odd runner handicap. She's do her best.
Yeah, but look at like even that run behind Ferdia, like I've said to you a few times now before, like I rate Ferdia very high, like, and I think she is a very talented mare, like, but like for things not to go necessarily your way, and I suppose look at the trip and the ground and all that not suiting as well, like to get as close as he did to Ferdia, who was after just coming second there behind St. Benedict, like it wasn't a bad old slouch either, 135, 140 rated horse, like, so like you can see,
she came back with a cut just over a tendon as well.
Yeah, but sure, look at like there you go, like sure you're definitely going in with a fighting chance anyway, no matter what way you look at it anyway. You're going to be up there close enough to the top of the market, and rightly so. Like she is a very talented mare. But I suppose Tom would know more about the Pimlico side of things, all right. But do you know much else about, say, the horses that he has? Or I know he has
Alice Avril.
Cool
Arcadia. He got Cool Arcadia there. I think he's been aimed at a winter campaign. He looks a lovely horse. I seen him a few days ago. He's, look, for any horse that's going to go to Henry Bromhead, he's going to improve. And he was 4th in a big handicap at the Punchestown Festival. He's a very lightly raced for his age. I think he's an 8-year-old. He's not having that many runs. He's a very exciting horse. He also has Alice Avril, who looks an absolute weapon of a chaser.
Yeah,
she ran
Kilbeggan
at Kilbeggan. Or was it Kilbeggan?
Kilbeggan, yeah.
Kilbeggan. Yeah, she, like, I never seen a horse to look at a fence about 40 yards out and just accelerate to it. Drop, that was over 2 miles too. That was her first run for Henry. I think she's rated to Grant Sauncey, good hurdler for Paul Nichols.
Yeah.
She looks very, very exciting. She's only a 4-year-old as well, so she'll be getting a lot of allowances this year. Look at her jumping. I've never seen a horse, a 4-year-old, to jump like that since. Look, I'm not comparing it to Masterminded or anything like that, but to jump like that, look, she obviously blew up on the home turn. That was over 2-2. I think dropped back to 2 miles.
Yeah.
Once around in front.
Yeah, definitely.
She's going places.
But even that Cool Arcade, like I've been following, say, these Clifford horses for quite some time, and I'm nearly certain this horse of this Cool Arcade is very closely related to Tom Cool Lad. Now, Tom Cool Lad, I'm not sure if you know too much about him, Andrew, or anything like that. He really started to come into life in his own, say, around the 12, 13, 14-year-old mark. Loved Galway. I think he won 3 or 4 in the bounce around Galway when he came there. Like, he was a proper hardy veteran chaser, like, but definitely starting to see an awful lot like Tom Cool Lad in this Cool Arcade. And I definitely think he is going to be a very, very nice sort of a chaser, all going well, touch wood and all that. But yeah, definitely looks to be a lovely, lovely sort for Tom there in Pimlico racing. But Andrew, I was chatting to Brian Arnold there say for the episode previous, but we're starting to do these quick fire questions, and I just want to rattle a couple at you there now. The most underrated horse in training.
Most underrated horse in training. Jesus Christ. This is not so quick fire, is it?
Got all
Most
day.
underrated horse in training. Probably, you know what? Probably Manila Indo.
Yeah, I think so too. I definitely think so too. Now we're going on to the complete opposite there now. Most overrated.
Oh, most overrated.
I know if poor presenting Percy was still alive today, you'd be saying,
Oh, he'd be top of the list. You know what? I'm not a fan of Shiskin.
yeah,
Thank you.
Not a fan of Shiskin at all. I think an Ergamene will absolutely whoop him.
yeah. I think he's a little bit reckless at his jumps, and I just think,
I think he's
If
a bit of
there's-
a tool.
yeah, I think if someone will put the pressure on him, like it'll make him overthink coming down to the jumps, and he'll just run through one of them and fire Nico
Yeah.
out of the plate. Like, but
I just think him against an look, he'd probably win everything by 20 lengths on the way up to Shetland.
yeah,
We're talking about
Nitro
Shetland in the middle of June. It's
Goshen, I
great,
felt
isn't it?
it.
Oh gosh, and he's gone. Gonshin, we call him. Gonshin, he's just gone. He's away up the ferries, that lad. Good God. Just back him in one race. Just back him at Wincanton.
yeah.
Or what's it called? The Elite, not the Elite Hurdle. What's it called? I can't remember. But it's in Wincanton about
Yeah,
month 6 weeks before Cheltenham.
yeah. I think it was around February, and everyone started losing their lives there, thinking, "Oh, Goshen's going to win the champion hurdle."
And there was one sitting next to me on my left hand side for about 6 weeks, ranting on about Goshen. He didn't realise the Wonder Mare was going to absolutely whoop the lot of them.
Yeah, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. Now, Andrew, I nearly know what you're going to say for this one now, but favorite track?
Punchestown.
Oh, I thought you were going to say your local one in Tremor.
You joking? Graveyard.
Fucking Graveyard is right.
Stop the lies.
Least favorite track?
Least favourite track that I've been to. Do you know what? I wasn't a fan of Cork, Mallow.
Yeah,
Done nothing for me. It's like flat and just it's like a track in America.
yeah,
Just flat and it goes, not
Yeah.
special. There's no hills or anything.
yeah. I
Very
suppose
meh.
the goat hurdler.
Oh, honeysuckle.
Yeah, I definitely think so too. The goat chaser.
Oh, this is hard. Head over heart. Head says Corto. Heart says Fahim.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a toss up between the two. Well, mine anyway.
Oh, he's probably not the goat chaser, but he's just a goat horse in general.
Yeah,
Mixed a dual purpose. Hurdles, forget the flat. Hurdles and chase is Fahim. Corto probably is the goat chaser.
yeah, mine anyway. Say now this would be more say emotional side of things now like that, but mine definitely has always been and probably will always be beef or salmon. But
Oh.
I suppose going across the water, he turned from goat to guinea pig. I suppose you could call
He
it.
used to puke his heart and soul up the second he hit the end of that hill.
Yeah,
Not going up there.
I would be all aboard the Sizen John train for that one, anyhow.
yeah,
Oh, the years of abuse I got over that horse. What the king? He's the king in waiting.
He
Oh,
is a fucking
oh.
legend.
yeah,
Now, speaking of how the podcast got started, he was the first horse I put up to win the Irish. I said, Sizen John, he's going to step up and trip in the Irish Gold Cup, and he's going to go on to win the Gold Cup. That's
Yeah.
how it generated. That's how. That
you're
was the
probably
first big
laughed
call.
at as well. You're
Oh, I
probably
laughed at. I think it was 25 to 1 or 33 to 1. Laughed
I
at
did the exact
whole-
same thing, Andrew.
by the whole 6 people that watched me back then.
yeah. Oh, stop. I suppose Andrew, just to finish things off there now. Look at you've how many boys? You've 2 or 3 boys, have you?
3 boys,
3 boys.
3 head cases.
Would you ever encourage them to get involved in racing?
My rule of thumb, and I'm going to stick to this with my kids, is they can do whatever the hell they want as long as they're happy doing what they want. If they want to go racing, they can. Off you go. I'll make the phone calls that's necessary. If they want to play hurling, if they want to do bloody ballet, they can do what they want.
Yeah,
I don't care. Genuinely
definitely.
don't care what they do.
And
But I wouldn't mind it because I might get a few chips to chat them on the house.
VIP Andrew Halligan.
Look, you got to win the World Cup. Oh shit, you said it last.
Oh, stop. But I suppose there for budding podcast presenters, any advice you'd give, say, for ones looking to start up their own racing podcast?
It's a long ass road, lads.
Yeah.
You're going to get days where you're thinking, why the hell am I doing this? I'm getting, like, there were stages at the start you were getting, 20, 50 views if you're lucky.
Yeah.
And you're going to get these, excuse my French, absolutely fucking dickheads that think they're the dog's bollocks and just go, eh.
Yeah.
Look,
Keyboard
be prepared for it all. Don't take anything they say to heart because they're just dopes who are just look, don't try to be someone you're not.
Yeah.
Like when myself and Tom started, we tried to be this very goody two shoes bloody proper thing. Just how something work.
Yeah.
We were sat there one day and we just said, this is not us.
Yeah.
And we just changed, just be yourself, do what you think is right. Don't mind what everyone else thinks. If you stick to your guns, do what you want. Look, obviously, people will have criticisms about us. Take it on the chin and look at it.
Yeah.
There is changes that you will have to adapt to. And you will make mistakes. You're always going to make mistakes. We make mistakes every bloody show.
Yeah.
But learn from them. Don't beat yourself up over it. And if you're on a bad run of calling horses, look, we all go through it. Stick to what you know.
Yeah.
Because it will come back around. But the main thing will be, it is a long process. It's not going to happen overnight. I started back in 2017, I think, January 2017, and it took a good 3 years to start actually snowballing and touch wood. Christ, there's no wood around me. It'll keep going on. But look, it is a hard process. We're one of the small success stories, and you're on the way to being that as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot that will go by the wayside. It's the same as anything you try your hand at. There will be people that fail, and there will be people that success.
Yeah.
But you need to have the mentality for it. You're going to need to take things on the chin. You're going to hear these keyboard bullies every day of the week calling you this, that, and the other, saying stuff about your family. Don't worry about it. The second they see you, they fucking shit in pants.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I think the key to success is always persistence. And if you're persistent in doing what you love and doing what you want to do, and if you want to make it a success, it's going to come sooner rather than later.
Yeah, like I had a kind of grounding from it when I was playing football. I had people knocking me down because, oh look, he shouldn't be playing for this, that, and the other.
Yeah,
it's just people in general. People hate to see people succeed because they think it should be there.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think you can ask for too much fairer than that. But Ryan, have you anything else to add?
I do, yeah. Andrew, I want to ask you one question. What do you think about Dundalk? What was your experience?
I thought it was going to be freezing. I went up and I was never been so warm in my life. And no, just it's on a serious note. I second myself and Dave actually pulled into the actual car park on the race course. We just looked at the stadium and went, this actually looks half decent, don't they? We walked in, the place is immaculate. The home straight is a lot longer than I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it's a nice race course. It fills its purpose. Is it everyone's cup of tea? No. Will it ever be anyone's cup of tea? No. But look, it's going to serve its purpose. It's a very well maintained track, and I would go up there again, 100%.
I tell you something. I'm definitely looking forward to my first trip to Dundalk. Once Broker's Tip gets an entry down there, he won the last time he was down there. So hopefully, anyway, once we get a race for him, we'll be doing all right. But I think that's all we have time for, Ryan. Is that you've nothing else to add?
Obviously, there was plenty of great people at Dundalk, but who was your favourite person that you got to talk to?
Favorite person? suppose some fellas that came over to us during it, what's some fella called Ryan?
Oh,
He was
really?
all right. He was all right. And when he stopped pestering me for an autograph and pictures, he was all right.
Had to be done. Like the autograph book was out. Did you get tugged around McNally?
No, but by God, I heard a lot of them walking around the place.
Tubbs was everywhere.
Oh, I was talking to Tubbs actually for a few minutes. He was trying to get the bloody jacket off me. It's like, wait, Tubbs, why will you? Take the coat off your back and everything.
Oh, stuff.
Now, the Crown Plaza Hotel, I have changed my whole life. Best pint of Guinness you will ever have in your life. If you're ever up in Dundalk, you won't go wrong with a pint of Guinness in there.
Crown Plaza. We'll have to remember that now.
Hashtag free night again, please. Thank you very much.
But anyway, we may as well end this on a good note anyway. But look, thanks again for Andrew for coming in and taking some time out of your busy schedule and all that. It was great chatting you and all that. For those who are tuning in for the first time, please make sure to keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you want to go that little bit further, we do have a Patreon account. Basically, what it is, it's €10 a month. You get tips from myself and Ryan every single day, but as well as that, we do monthly giveaways. We have a great WhatsApp group. We've got all different little plans and whatever like that. But in terms of the giveaways as well, it's close to £700 now at this stage. We've given away 3 shares in horses. We've given away plenty of racing merchandise, cash giveaways. We had a €200 tipping competition for patron members as well. So you get back what you put in.
The Euro sweepstakes.
Oh, the Euro sweepstakes as well. Yeah, definitely, as well as that. But
as Tom would say, value of that is.
Yeah, for the sake of a tenner, price of 2 pints for myself and Ryan a month, definitely don't think you can go wrong. There's plenty more, say, worse prices you can get for the two of us, and we're not too bad at calling horses either at the end of the day. But I suppose as well, while we're on that subject as well, sponsorship, if people are listening in with businesses or whatever like that and looking to sponsor the page, we're definitely open for a bit of sponsorship. We're yet to nail down a full sponsor yet, but either get in contact with myself or Ryan in line with that. But that's basically it. Andrew, thanks very much, and it's been great chatting to you again.
Thanks for having me on, lads. Pleasure.
Fucking great to have you.